If y'all don't mind, let me welcome you to Game Beyond the Game presents Talk That Talk, inspiring conversations with professional athletes where we inspire our audience as we explore finding vision and purpose in life and discuss tools to overcome life's transition. I am your MC, Stan Pearson II, and we are joined by founder Prince Daniel Jr., officially, aside from Shiny. Prince, how are you doing right now?
Oh man, I'm on top of the world right now, man, and I've been blessed from the universe, from um, uh, the I don't like to say the man up above because I don't like to dehumanize, but the source and everything up above, man. I'm super blessed. I'm sitting on top of the world, man. My book is selling like hotcakes, and
I gotta tell him that.
Oh, my bad, man.
We're gonna go back to the future in a second. All right, folks, we're just gonna hop right into it. Cat out of the bag. Who you're talking to now is no longer this NCAA record holder, no longer just retired NFLer, no longer just mindfulness expert, but best-selling author Prince Daniels Jr. of Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete.
Yes.
I mean, tell me more about that. What inspired the book, and how does it feel not to have it out there? You begin to allude to that already. Now, how does it feel to finally have it off and out there into the ether?
Oh man, it's words are inadequate to describe how I feel. But I feel grateful. I feel amazing, man. I feel like I've reached a milestone in my life, and I've accomplished it. But it doesn't stop there. But it's just amazing how I get a chance to share my knowledge, my experience, and my spirit with other people to educate them and to teach them that we are more powerful than what we see, on the surface level. Once you can look beyond the surface level, you realize how amazing you are and how you can learn how to master the balance between your power and your peace.
Awesome. So we're going to start about the book, and then we'll work our way back. I just want to ask, what's your favorite part about the book? About Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete. What's your favorite?
My favorite part about the book is the spirit and the zone sections. And the reason why is because not too many people have written about spiritual and a spiritual approach when it comes to the game of sports, and be able to intertwine it into how it's applicable to everyday life and how people can use it to better themselves and become the best version of themselves. And then the zone is something that a lot of people, a lot of psychologists speak about, but maybe they may not have experience on that level, but they speak about it, and I get a chance to speak about it from an athlete perspective, and just share that moment of silence, that moment of just being so so involved in the zone where time doesn't even exist. And I think that for me really allowed for me to express myself, because I was able to experience it after my football career and spending time at a monastery. So, which I had an opportunity to, which was really awesome, because I have a story to tell, from a lot of my friends, because when I started sharing this with them about 10 years ago, everyone was just like, man, aren't you Christian?
Like you're not able to be mindful in whatever at the same time, but go ahead.
Right. And it's, it's a misconception. And so now I'm here to be a myth buster, and to make sure that people really understand the benefits of this practice, how it my byline, it helps you master the balance between your power and your peace.
Man, thank you very much for sharing that. I know we're going to dive a little bit deeper, but and folks, who are, let's say, tuning in or just understanding and finding out about the new bestseller, Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete, Balancing Your Power, the difference between your power and peace. This past weekend, you had a virtual book launch. And I tell you what, and most folks are not able to execute a virtual book launch, especially in the way that you did. If you don't mind, you don't have to give me secrets as to what makes you so successful outside of your, contagious energy and drive and willingness to, knock these things out. But what helped make this such a successful virtual book launch?
Oh man, the people that actually showed up, because you won't have a book launch if nobody shows up, So, and then I want to give a shout out to Dante because he was there as well, man. Dante, let's go, yes. And just the ability to be able to allow people to come in and share that excitement, that accomplishment with you, because people like to share positive things with you, and I made it an event where people can be inspired by me completing something, because it's one thing to talk about something and then you say you're going to do it, but when you know someone that's close to you, or you actually don't even know that person, but they actually accomplish something and they share the wisdom with you, oh man, that inspires you to do the things that you had on your mind. It allows for you to put things into action and to actually start moving forward and making it happen, making your dreams become a reality. Because a lot of times we sit back and we're like, well, I'll wait till next week to do it, or I'll wait till this to do it. But with so many fatalities happening in 2020, you have to take advantage of the moment and the time right now. I always say this. That that one saying that I heard from Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. And I tell people to stay in the present as much as you possibly can, because you are the gift. And so when you can share your God-given ability, because it is a gift, and you can share with other people, man, I mean, they receive that gift and they use it to empower themselves and make themselves better, and the people around them. So it was amazing. As my man Dante said, he said it was awesome, great conversation, fellas. I was just there to remind people, like, don't forget who you are. And a lot of times we do, because we are distracted by the things that's outside of us, and we forget about the things that are inside of us. And why the Creator made us who we are and why we're so special. So when you take the time out to look within yourself and you find that image that we're created in, then you start to realize, like, wow, nothing is impossible unless I truly believe it is. It's a mindset, but yet it's also an infectious thing that you're in spirit, which you use to inspire other people. It allows for you to remind people, how incredible they are. And then when they start looking within and searching themselves and they find it, it's a moment of union, of unity. They come back to you, and it's all about embracing the next spiritual being, because their light shines bright. And when their light shines bright, your light shines bright, and we shine bright together. So,
so I'll go back to a point you made before, and obviously mentioned your light and shining bright.
Appreciate
that. Being, present. So how does one, let's say that they're new to the game in terms of trying to be in the moment, being present. What's, let's say, one thing that someone can do to be better at being present, to really appreciating the time that they have right now?
Wow, that's beautiful. Practice, just understanding what your practice is and what you're looking to accomplish in life. A lot of times, finding that purpose. Chadwick Boseman, he had a purpose, and he followed that purpose to the T, knowing that he had he was ill, and knowing that tomorrow wasn't promised, but he accomplished the things that he wanted to accomplish to become the superhero that he is. on and off the camera. And so some of the things that people can do is just find gratitude in the moment of where they are, what they have, and be thankful for their health. And then you start from there, and you start becoming present of like where you are. You take these moments throughout your day and be like, okay, what am I doing? Where am I at? What am I doing? Am I working towards my purpose? Am I working towards my goal that I set out for myself? And as you continue to keep practicing doing those things, you start to learn how to become more and more present. And when you start doing that, you start to see how your awareness becomes more heightened, and you start to see how the gifts of life start to present themselves, and you realize that, wow, it's me that's looking within and making my light shine bright and attracting these other things around me. So that's how people can practice, become more mindful.
And I know you had some, let's say, some special collaborations within the book, namely with Ford, a close friend of yours, decided to, be a part of the book, or you welcomed into the book to write the Ford. Can you speak to that? What, made you want, Calvin Johnson Jr. to be a part of the book, and how does it feel to have, one of your friends be a part of your vision and your dream that you're seeing exist?
It's a dream, a thought, a manifestation, a prayer come true. This is something that we spoke about years ago, and I told him my plan and what I wanted to do. And it was surprising that that he got down with it, with the cause, because I mentioned this earlier before, and it was really awesome because in the book lunch, he mentioned this as well. And a lot of my friends, or just my religious background, I grew up Christianity, grew up in the church. But as I got older, I started to evolve, and I started realizing that we're all children of the Almighty. And we have to come together and not label ourselves or put a title on ourselves about who we are, because we're no different than the next person. And we were all created equally. And, we were created from the Creator, and so we all have some of that inside of us. So, he had mentioned that when I spoke to him about this years ago, he said, excuse me for my ignorance, but when Pete told me about practicing meditation and mindfulness, I was just like, aren't you Christian? And he said, but then he explained it to me that it's just a practice, that allows you to connect with your spirit. And then he mentioned that, and then he reminded me that, your spirit inside of you is not going to tell you, not going to lead you in the wrong direction. And so he said that right there let him understand, like, oh, I'm thinking more of it. My preconceived notion about meditation is it's connoted to Buddhism or Hinduism or the Western philosophy, when in fact it is not. It's just a practice, and a lot of people get that misconstrued, with Buddhism actually being a religion, but it's not. It's just a way of life. And when you start to understand these principles, and when you start to go through life and you start struggling, you realize once you start going back to your core, you're looking within, you find the balance within yourself. You find the balance between your power and your peace. And a lot of people think, your power is to, is to be able to dominate. And that's one side of it. But you really find your true power within your peace when you look within and you find that peace, because that from there, you're more powerful than anything that you can ever imagine. I mean, for an example, think about it. If you ask someone a question and they don't answer you, you're living in, and the person that asked the question is living in anticipation. Like, are you gonna say something? Are you gonna say something? Like, what is it? What is it? And so right then and there, you just giving up your power because you're anxious to hear an answer from someone, and and so the other person has all the power in the world. That's just like if someone asks you something on the street and you don't even know them. They just ask you a random question. You have the power not to answer their question, because you can keep your energy and your power within yourself. And that's what makes you powerful. That is, silence, looking within, finding that peace within, because man, that is where your power comes from. Everybody comes around to see a birth. Everyone comes around to see a death. So whether you are coming into this world, you're coming into this world from silence. You're coming in from a womb into this world. You leave this world, boom, you leave this body, and but you're going back into silence. And so what people have to understand is when you learn how to discipline yourself to be able to be silent, a lot of things come out of it. You can sit down and read a book for 30 minutes within your head and be silent. The next time you open your mouth, you will see how you are able to articulate things in the most acute way. So a lot of these things play into understanding where you can find your true power, and that's within your peace, and that's within yourself.
Wow, it's interesting you mentioned that silent piece. People also, even in negotiation, people say the most powerful tool in negotiation is silence. So it almost seems fitting, that you're almost in silence, you're negotiating better standards and appreciation
Right.
for yourself along the way.
Correct.
Yeah. So super powerful. So is mindfulness for the ultimate athlete? Can it be for someone who's not a professional athlete? Is that like, you know what I mean?
Most definitely. Most definitely. It's applicable to all walks of life. The one thing that people have to understand is that we are all athletes in this game of life. And so I wrote this book, yes, for athletes, because I understand that they are influencers, and also I was a former athlete, so I'm teaching the athletes how to elevate their game at such a high level that they're performing from their inner self. And someone that could attest to this was Kobe Bryant. He spoke about this all the time, about the Mamba mentality and about keeping that that warrior, that Zen-like mind, that samurai mind, as in stay focused on your goals, do what you need to do, execute. Like Michael Jordan said, I don't care if my grandmother was in front of me, she's gonna get dunked on too. And that's the champion spirit. That's when you can focus on a goal without being distracted. I mean, you become so in tune in the moment that nothing can pull you out of it. And the book came out in September and Kobe passed in January, and it was my goal to be able to share this piece of me with Kobe, because I know and I understand. Calvin, he was able to understand it, but I knew that Kobe was going to be able to understand it and it was going to resonate with him. And I never had a chance to share it with them, but I am in spirit, and I know that it's going to touch a lot of lives, because I'm speaking from my spirit, from the heart, but I'm speaking from my in spirit, which inspires others, because the word inspiration derives from those two words, in spirit. So I understand what I'm doing and the impact that I'm making on people's lives in this world.
Awesome, man. A couple more questions, if you don't mind. What did you learn about yourself while finishing this book? While writing the book, is there anything specifically that you learned about, Prince, that you finished and worked through it?
Man, that was a good question. What did I learn about myself? What I learned about myself was just staying disciplined to be able to accomplish something that you set your sights on. Like, it was one thing I was always talking about this book. I'll tell everybody, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book called Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete. And it's just like, okay, cool. When is it coming out? And just like, it's coming out soon. And it wasn't until I went to go and sequester myself and really finish it. Just just hunker down and just be like, you know what? I'm not coming out of the room. I'm not doing anything until I finish this book. And if I have to do that every single day, I'm going to do that. And so what I discovered is the same thing that I've always known about myself. The ability to be committed to something from start to finish. And and just see the work through. I develop the mindset to make sure that you just see it through, no matter how long it takes. I heard someone say that the key to success is patience, persistence, and resilience. And so I felt like that I've displayed all three of those characteristics, to get to this point. And so that's why it's such a jovial moment, and it's such a moment where I can celebrate with others so that they can become inspired and accomplish the things they want to accomplish.
Awesome. So where can people find your book? Best way to find the book and get some mindfulness for themselves.
And they can find the book everywhere. And I want to say this. A lot of people think, because of the title, Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete, most people are like, well, that's not talking to me. I'm not the ultimate athlete, or I'm not an athlete, or this and this and that. And I don't practice mindfulness. But the thing is, I'm teaching you about how to balance, what's going on in your life. I'm teaching you about learning how to alleviate stress from your life. I'm teaching you about mental health. I'm teaching you about learning how to overcome the obstacles that we face. I'm teaching you about learning how to overcome depression and suicide and suicidal ideation. So I'm teaching you how to have healthy thoughts and decision making in your life. But people can go and find it on my website at either at www.princedanielsjr.com, or you can go on Amazon and buy it. It was just published on Amazon. So if you get a chance to go and purchase it and read it, and then leave a review on Amazon. So make sure that you do that. And if you go to Amazon, type in the name Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete. It'll get the ratings up. But man, everything has been really amazing. And also the last thing, I've been getting donations to my foundation. And what my foundation has been doing, we've been supporting kids who lack the knowledge of mindfulness and meditation. So, and we start teaching them that. So the goal is to get everybody this book, so I can follow up with them and do a 4-week course where I dive deep into the book and I just teach them about the importance of this practice, because it allows you to, one, empower yourself, and two, overcome any obstacle that you're faced with.
Congratulations. So some homework before we leave for the other folks. Number one, make sure you go to Amazon or Prince Daniels Jr. And I got sending the best wishes on the book launch, much needed light and healing for not just athletes, but everyone. Thank you both for everything, for sharing your light. Thank you very much. Thanks for
thank you.
As well. Amazing.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Listen, make sure, folks, that you go to Amazon, get Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete, and again, understand what it means to balance that power and peace. And you certainly can't put a price on peace, so make sure that you absolutely do that. And more than that, make sure that you leave a review, because what that review is going to do is that's going to help more people find this particular book. And what Prince has done an excellent job of doing is actually pouring mindfulness and light into the world. And this helps, his light reach more people, which is going to be absolutely amazing, not just for you all, but everyone that we're around. And as we all know, we're a product of the people that we hang around. So what better way than to help them get better than them having this book and opportunity to learn more too.
Right.
Prince, any final thoughts or other thoughts that you'd like to share about the book, your foundation, or anything you have coming up next? I don't want to go far in the future because I really enjoy and happy to know about your book, but what do you have going on that anyone and everyone that can support right now outside of the book?
If you want to know more about why I wrote the book, what the book is about, I have a 6-week course coming up. It's a 6-week course where we just dive deep into the book. You can find that on my website at www.princedanielsjr.com, or you can go and donate to the foundation, which is called 4lbufoundation.org, and allow for me to get out here and share my heart, mind, body, and spirit with kids, with adults, with everyone around the world. Man, I see all the stuff that's going on in the world, and one thing that I've understood was life and how precious it is to all of us. And when I wrote this book, what I had in mind and what I had in my body and my spirit was to be able to share a message that can help make a difference in people's lives. To change the world, it takes a lot, but in order for the world to change, it takes one person to be able to change what's inside of them and to be able to make a difference. And so, like, I'm going to make that difference. I'm claiming it. I'm saying it. And if you want to get behind me, do get behind me. If you don't want to get behind me, it's all right. I love and support everyone, because my goal is to help make sure that we leave this world a better place than how we received it. So I'm grateful. I'm super thankful for all the people in my life, all the people that I've met, and all the people that I'm going to meet, and just happy that I have something. Man, it's incredible to be able to know that your book is being sought out by everyone all across the world. I've been having people hitting me up from Sweden, from the UK, from Ghana, from Japan. I've been sending books out everywhere. And one thing I didn't know was when you send books overseas, it's going to cost you some money.
It costs you a lot, but it's going to cost you.
Right. That's why if you order the book from overseas, you should just get it from Amazon, because
cover with an autograph. Nice.
Right, exactly. But it's just such an honor, to be able to have those problems. Sending this overseas is gonna cost me a lot of money, but it's okay, because when you think about it, you're sending something in the mail that's going to touch someone that is 5,000 plus, 10,000 plus miles away. And when they receive it, they receive the same type of gratification that you receive from actually writing the book, sharing the book with them, and they receive it. And now they get a chance to read it and go and apply it to their own life. So, man, I mean, like, that's when words are inadequate to describe, the sensation and the feeling that you're able to instill in others' lives.
Yeah, piece of you is forever with them.
Right. Right, man.
Congratulations a million times. I'm so happy for you. Proud.
Thank you.
To know you, especially at this moment. And for those of you all, make sure on social media before we close at Game Beyond the Game. That is the other place, because I know there are folks out there that are looking for places to find content that's going to feed their soul, that's going to help them be a better version of themselves. They're going to feed their mind at the same time. If you're looking for that, because I know so many of you are and you're having trouble finding that place, simply go to Game Beyond the Game on Facebook, as well as Instagram and YouTube. Go to those three places if you're looking for content to help build a better version of you from the inside out, from the neck up. And officially, I just want to thank you all, and especially thank you, Prince, for taking the time and allowing me to interview you about your new best-selling book, Mindfulness for the Ultimate Athlete. So thanks again for joining us, everyone, today. And obviously, Prince, for you, always sharing your story and being transparent. And for those of you all watching, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page, at Game Beyond the Game. You can join us here next week on Game Beyond the Game Facebook page every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Continue to be a great version of you. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you so much, Dan. You guys have a good one.